What is going on, YouTube fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and to hear all the details in the case. If you're new to the fam, be sure to subscribe. Hit that notification bell for future uploads. Let's get right into the story. Some people choose to make a living by any means necessary. In the streets, trapping, robbing, even scamming, in which most people put their needs and wants over the next person's. Meaning, if you got something they want or can be in any kind of way beneficial, you become a disposable target. It's a cold game that goes back to the old saying, it's no honor amongst thieves and no love in the streets. But that's only one side of the coin. Some choose to work hard and be legit, whether it's a job at Walmart or McDonald's, whatever it takes to make ends meet. It's definitely a slower process, and that means it might take you longer to achieve or get certain things. But most of the time, you will definitely appreciate it more because it did not come easy and you worked hard for it. But when you are around cruddy individuals that only care about money, even over people, even work can become a dangerous environment. It makes it 10 times worse when you are being plotted on by your own boss. Not to be fired, but for more violent reasons. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we will be taking it to Houston, Texas to discuss a case of a young man that was backdoored by his own boss in a crazy robbery plot. Back in 2017, when 20-year-old Daquan Anderson got a promotion to be a shift leader at the Dollar General store he worked for, he was excited to finally see the fruits of his labor from all the hard work he had put in. Daquan had moved from Louisiana to Texas, where he would focus in on his passion, which at the time was photography. With his dreams of opening up a studio one day, to pursue his dreams, the promotion was right on time. And plus, Daquan had just got engaged. Everything was looking up for the young man. At the time, his store's assistant manager was 28-year-old Danisha Jackson. The Dollar General was located at 525 Cross Timber Street in Houston, Texas. The two co-workers had never had any issues, according to sources. But when Kayla Nelson and her girlfriend, we will call Miss Robinson, came to visit Danisha in Houston, the two were coming from Atlanta. Danisha and Miss Robinson were childhood friends, and while in town, they stayed at Danisha's apartment. Allegedly, this is where a plan to make some easy money was plotted. Danisha had discussed with Kayla about how the Dollar General she worked at had to transport money from the store to the bank, and it could possibly be took before arriving at the bank. But of course, that would involve robbing one of her co-workers or her. The women talked about it until eventually they convinced each other it could be done and decided to go with their move. According to reports, Danisha, who wasn't scheduled to work on December 17, 2017, volunteered to come in anyway. As the assistant manager, even though another worker was assigned to the deposit, Danisha decided she would get Daquan to take it instead. The amount of money was $2,800 that was put inside of a Dollar General tote bag. Daquan pulled up to the North Houston store that day for his shift, not knowing about the plot on him. Knowing he had to make the deposit, Daquan went into the store, got the money, walked to his car, and got ready to go to the bank, when he was approached by someone who demanded the money and grabbed for the bag. The young man refused and fought off the attacker and attempted to drive away with the money. But the person followed Daquan before shooting at the car, as he crashed before being shot 4 times. The person ran over to the car, grabbed the money, and fled the scene. Since it was broad daylight, witnesses quickly called police. As they arrived to the scene, they found Daquan had crashed into a median not too far from the Dollar General store. His car window was broke and the young man was shot multiple times. He was rushed to Lyndon B. Johnson Hospital, but unfortunately, he would not survive. This was just one day after Daquan got promoted to shift manager. Co-workers and the store manager who promoted the young man were all confused as the sad news got to his family and fiance. They were all hurt and in shock, as Daquan worked hard for everything he ever wanted just to have a better life. But police felt as though it was a targeted situation due to the timing of the robber, who knew exactly what time to approach. As authorities searched the crime scene, they talked to eyewitnesses who said they saw a suspect run to the apartment complex not too far from the Dollar General. Security footage from the apartments showed a car leaving the scene. Taking down the tag number from the video, police tracked the vehicle back to a young man we will call K. As police tracked down K, he allegedly informed them the car was his and he was paid to drive 2 women to the apartments next to the Dollar General that day. Police asked for the address, in which K told them, and while doing the investigation of the location, authorities connected the address to Danisha's apartment. Knowing that she worked at the store, it seemed to be an inside job. They confronted Danisha with the information, as she still worked at the store after the shooting. They searched her car and found fingerprints that matched the fingerprints of Daquan's car. They also ran her cell phone records and saw text messages of Danisha allegedly giving step-by-step plays, even a description, to Kayla, stating he's leaving with the money now, and other texts 1 hour before the robbery. Danisha was eventually arrested and charged with setting up the robbery and capital murder. About 2 months later, Kayla was tracked down to a location outside of Atlanta and charged as the shooter of Daquan. She will also be charged with robbery and capital murder as well. As the case made the trial in February 2020, Kay and Ms. Robinson, who was Danisha's childhood friend and also Kayla's girlfriend, who was staying at Danisha's apartment at the time when the plot was made, they both testified. As the information came out, Danisha alleged it was supposed to be a simple robbery. She didn't know Kayla would shoot, and she didn't mean for anything to happen to Daquan. She was only paid $500 out of the $2,800, and after Kayla took the rest and came back to Atlanta, things got crazy. As the trial wrapped up, prosecutors painted the picture of Danisha being the mastermind and enlisting Kayla to do the robbery. They also stated she gave Kayla a description of Daquan and his movements leading to his death. Also that Kayla emptied the whole clip of a 9mm and then went to the car after shooting, broke the window, and took the money. Both women were found guilty of robbery and murder. They both were sentenced to life in prison. Rest in peace to Daquan. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. More of this story, when someone puts their wants and needs over people, situations like this happen. Daquan didn't do nothing wrong, but be a hard worker and got caught in a plot for petty money, $2,800, in which Danisha made that move for only $500. That probably was less than her paycheck. Greed is serious, and being money hungry to the point you are willing to set up a person for chump change. Nowadays, $500 can't even pay rent for 1 month. It's barely grocery money. You never know how fast a lick will play out. It might end up in an innocent person gone and a life sentence. So remember, we got to succeed, not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Man, it's a crazy story all around the board. You know, rest in peace that young man, Daquan, 20 years old, just got engaged. He was working at the dollar store to try to save up to get money to open up his photography studio. That's what his mother said. That's what his loved ones said. Now, the young lady, Danisha, I don't think she had nothing against him per se. I don't know why she chose him to take the money that day when it was already another co-worker taking the money. You know, she alleged that she ain't know Kayla was gonna shoot. You know, her and Kayla weren't really that cool. She just knew her because she was dating her childhood friend, and they came in town to stay with her for a minute, man. It's crazy how it played out. Like I said, when you set up things like this, you never know how the situation gonna go. I know everybody's saying, oh, why he just ain't give her the money? Why he ain't give her the money? You know, some people got that fight or flight mentality, and some people choose to fight. He not thinking in his mind at the time, like, this ain't my money, I should just give it up. You know, he just knows somebody got a blick in his face and he trying to get away, man. Sad situation. Let me know what y'all think about this one in the comments, though. Definitely, man. I appreciate you if you made it to the end of the video, man. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. If you want to request a video, hit me up at tony2times.biz@gmail.com. Love y'all, fam. I'm out.